Welcome to Bengal Boston Bridge. So today, just briefly, we have Todd, Tallinn, and Ujjal. I'm Ujjal Sarkar. I'm the founder of Bengal Boston Bridge and actually co-founded this to fuse art and science.
I'm the founder and curator of the Thompson Gallery at the Cambridge School of Weston in Weston, Massachusetts. And I'm married to Tallinn Megarian, and we're both artists. And I got introduced to the Bengal Boston Bridge through Tallinn, actually, so I'll hand that over to her.
Oh. Yes, my name is Tallinn Megarian. I am an educator. I teach pre-K through 8th grade art and also art enrichment. I'm also a painter myself. And it's through my enrichment art that I got connected to Ujjal. I was fortunate enough to teach his daughter.
Yes.
And then to even do a workshop with you, Ujjal, when I did an adult workshop.
Remember?
And it was Ujjal who reached out to me with his spark and idea. And it was me that pulled Todd into this Bengal Boston Bridge.
I got really motivated about some of the aspects and ideas that that exhibitions that we had in Boston, and since then I've been thinking about doing something and connecting with another world which is called arts, because I am actually, as you know, that I'm coming from science background, and so far every time I go to any universities that we have a department called arts and science, right? So, but really never really rang my bell that arts and science is something two different departments, right? So then I look back and I know the two examples about Tagore and Einstein, that they are two Nobel Prize winners and they met together 6 times, and back in 1900s early and 1930s still, and they actually had a really nice exchange of ideas how art and science took it, working together. And then I asked this question about why not we bring these two individuals? Why do we have to have two different individuals talking to each other? Why not we bring these two perspective and philosophies within one being, in one person, and really focus on humanity with fun and innovation and focusing and creating opportunities, and there are gaps in society, how we can actually help others. Yeah. So I think we are actually talking about a common language, right? Regardless of where you're from, but they can actually connect, right, with this concept, the powerful that we talked about, how the neurotransmitters connecting each other, right, and creating the fusion, and they really wonder about, wow, wonderful things. It's in your brain, but how about two dots could be an individuals meeting together and creating wonderful things, right?
We did start with our Zoom meetings, and we got to meet the artist curators in Kolkata, and it started to become real. And when we found out we were invited to go there, it was quite an opportunity. I mean, it was a very exciting opportunity for us. I was also excited about the venue that you got. So the Academy of Fine Arts in Kolkata.
Yes.
And which was a beautiful space. And I love the idea of building relationship with these people I didn't even know. I didn't know anybody, and we just went and we were pulled in and warmly embraced. And it's just led to more and more relationship and conversation. And the part for me that was pretty wonderful, Todd was our head curator, but he invited other curators, myself included, and that experience of looking at all this art from globally, really. I mean, we had artists from all over, and thinking about science and art relationships, and thinking about the voices of the artists, the different voices that we were inviting and bringing in, was a very exciting concept for me.
I think that you mentioned the food. There are tastes that I don't have language for. I mean, some of the things we ate were extraordinary. One very memorable meal was a young bamboo tree was cut that day, and then chicken prepared with spices inside of the bamboo hollow.
Oh, yes.
Several parts of the bamboo were cooking simultaneously, and the taste of the meal had this very pleasant, unexpected taste of the bamboo, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just speak to, we jumped in a car and we traveled for 5 hours, and we came into this beautiful landscape of like yellow mustard flowers and red dirt, and tribal villages that have been there for so long, and the colors of the buildings that were painted. Like, this is all in here now. It's just, I will never forget it. And hopefully it'll be part of my art in some way as well.
Oh, that's good.
And we got taken to see a temple. These women, tribal women, came and they did a dance for us, and actually there were men that played drums and did different sounds, and it was a repetitive dance around a fire.
Always in a straight,
always in a straight line, yet turning.
Straight line, but turning to match the circle.
Circle, okay.
But
it did something inside us all, and I feel our daughter was with us, our daughter Roma, who was 22 at the time, and both of us afterwards said to each other, that made me cry. Yeah, because it was just so moving. And culturally, I have to say, there were some crossovers that I feel with my Armenian culture. Even the art.
Well, everything in India is an explosion of either color, joy, food, art, sound. I mean, it's just it's a kaleidoscope. I mean, it's...
Yes. From the next chapter of Unconnected Yet, it's a philosophy. It's a really powerful. I don't think we should change the name and put something else. This is a very powerful. And even I talk about these things in my workplace. Being a scientist, I talk about Unconnected Yet. Like, if you have two informations put together, and that this is where we do invention. We produce therapeutics, benefits or drugs, making sure, think about the patient safety and efficacy, and how we have some unknowns and we have the dots, but we don't know how to connect them. So if we connect in proper way, keep looking for those connections, we can have wonderful, outcome out of this, from the science point of view, and the same for the art, right? Artists and human beings. Well, this is so exciting. First of all, I think we're not stopping here. So Unconnected is possibilities infinity, with infinity, right? So you keep connect the dots, and then you explore the wonderful things in life, any field you are in. So we are actually holding that philosophy as a team, and I'm really glad to have these exhibitions in Lorne, and hoping that these exhibitions will come back to Boston, and then that's how we'll finish the loop of Bengal Boston Bridge. And then again, we don't know where it's going to go next.
Right.
But the major goal of this is to education's awareness, building the connections between artists and scientists, and show people that what we can do besides our daily job. We have our job, we have our family, but can we do beyond this?
I'll back up just a little bit, because what got the two of us going in that first conversation, I didn't think I could do what you're asking. So I was basically just sharing things that I've picked up over the years. And I was really checking to make sure that I had enough understanding what I was hearing you describe And then it was just like, I don't know, it felt like this was happening to both of us because we just kept going and going and going. And pretty soon, within 10 minutes, we had the title of the show, which stuck, which was Unconnected Yet.
Yeah.
And you were talking about wanting to bridge two things. And so I said, well, why don't we make it, that's what a synapse does, right? It bridges. And so we decided to call it, or I proposed the idea of Unconnected Yet, because it's in the middle of being connected. It's that exciting reaching out.
Exactly.
And that seemed to capture the spirit of both of our imaginations. And so when I agreed to do the work with you and meet the BBB, the Bengal Boston Bridge, it occurred to me that if this is a global project, then really we don't want the voice of one white male presenting curator. It seemed to me that it should be more inclusive.
Okay.
So I also have a small audience that knows the high school gallery that I curate, but about 500 artists are on my mailing list, but that's a pretty small group. And I thought, how do I get outside of that group?
Right.
And so I invited other curators to work with me. I asked Talene because one of the things that excites me about Talene's work is her interest in women's stories, particularly Armenian women. Mm-hmm. But there's a great affinity for women's stories in general in your art and in the things you read and are attracted at looking at. And so that to me seemed like a really important voice. So that was why I invited you to work with me. So please, this is the catalog that I put together. And
yes, you can hold
go ahead.
Yes.
And so once the roster was settled on, and then it just became a process of collecting the art and asking artists to talk about why their work connected to the exhibition theme, which is bridging any gap, bridging anything that hasn't been bridged yet, making a bridge to the world you would like to visit, and so on. And so there are multiple ways artists could select work that connected in one way or another to those
to align with the vision and everything.
Yes.
And that was our exciting part too, to read how the artists talked about how they
a few examples that that they expressed some of their opinions about from
well, perhaps we can read. So this is a good example of the kind of statement that would inspire us. So this work here is by Noreen Smith from Maryland, USA. It's called Angry or Assertive? May the Bridges I Burn Light the Way. Mm-hmm. It was made in 2020, and it's a paper collage. And she writes, building a bridge of understanding the black-brown female experience relative to their white female counterparts when living out their feminine freedoms and truths and connecting viewers to the innate power found in womanhood and the divine feminine, inclusive of those seldom celebrated complexities and nuances of female existence over time and various life occurrences.
So thank you so much for your time, Todd and Tallinn, and it's a
thank
wonderful
you,
moment.
Jal.
I really, I would like to thank Partha Ghosh for having, giving us this space to have this wonderful interview, and also we thank Dr. Shalini Datta for having this interview properly done.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Thank you. Take care. Bye.